Coming up on Bloom, ways to live healthy and make it to 100 years old.
People in these blue zones, they don't have better bodies than us. They don't have, longevity hacks. They're just avoiding the diseases that foreshorten our lives. They have fifth the rate of cardiovascular disease, a fourth the rate of type 2 diabetes.
And why Time Magazine calls Tampa one of the world's greatest places of 2023. And a fun way to conquer your fears. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, a full hour dedicated to your health and wellness. So get ready to bloom. On Bloom, we work every day to find experts who can truly help you take control of your own health so you can live life to the fullest. So today, we're bringing you some highlights from Bloom 2023. And this next guest is really incredible. I have spent years following Blue Zone expert and best-selling author Dan Buettner, whose work continues to get global attention. Even Netflix rolled out a special featuring the Nat Geo star called Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zones. So needless to say, when Buettner, who is renowned for bringing scientifically focused health and lifestyle solutions to help you live to 100, joined me on Bloom, it was definitely a highlight of my year. Take a look.
According to the World Health Organization, they were producing the longest lived disability-free life expectancy in the world. And that got me thinking there must be other places around the world where people are living a long time. And because only about 20% of how long you live is dictated by your genes, the other 80% is something else. We realize that if we carefully, using demographers, identify places where people are making it to the longest, enjoying the longest lived lives without disease, we looked for the common denominators, we might have a pretty reasonable formula for longevity, and it's just really coming to light right now.
So let's talk about the commonalities between all of them, because it is very interesting, and it seems like we should start creating blue zones across the country.
We should. Yes, because these are places. First of all, we have a $4.4 trillion healthcare bill in this country right now, 85% of which is from avoidable diseases. And the people in these blue zones, they don't have better bodies than us. They don't have, longevity hacks. They're just avoiding the diseases that foreshorten our lives. A fifth the rate of cardiovascular disease, a fourth the rate of type 2 diabetes, something like half the rate of certain cancers. So they're just not getting sick in ways that we're unnecessarily getting sick, and they're doing it by very discernible ways.
So let's talk about your new Netflix series, Live to 100, Secrets of the Blue Zones. I was so excited when that dropped.
Yeah, I was too. I expected it to end in the slag heap of, 10 clicks down, but it was top 10 in 84 countries, #1 in America for a long time. And I think it's because we got really the top-notch directors and videographers in the world. I call it longevity porn. In a way, I wanted to make reaching 100 look aspirational, and they really did it. They did a fabulous job. And the beauty with this approach to longevity is it makes, unlike shooting yourself up with your son's blood or some sort of genetic hack, which often just elongates an already kind of crappy life. Blue zones, they're among the happiest populations on Earth. So they're reaching age 100, but they're enjoying the journey in measurable ways.
I love that. I'm talking a lot during the show about my late parents who lived well into their late 80s, and they were so vibrant and they were so much fun that I hung out with them more than I did people my own age. And I noticed that when I watched your Netflix series, that community is also very important.
Community and reverence for aging, or reverence for older people. In America, we tend to celebrate youth in our advertising and so forth. And we know that people who regard getting older as a privilege and look at older people as a repository of wisdom, they actually have 40% lower mortality rates.
And from one super ager to the next, I also got the chance to catch up with a filmmaker who is in his 80s working to inspire all of us to find ways to live a vibrant life. Here's the advice Jim Owen shared with me.
Gayle, I'm 83 years old and I've never felt this good.
That is
And
amazing.
if I can do this, anybody. I'm just an ordinary guy. I have no credentials except one. I was a certified couch potato. Other than that, I'm not a doctor or a PhD. I'm just an ordinary guy that said, I've got to do something for my health.
And I read that you actually decided I'm going to take action when you were 70. You really ramped things up when you were 75. And now your method is so popular that there's a documentary out.
Well, I produced this documentary film, and just by background, what I noticed was that there were people who were 60 who looked and moved like they were 80. And then there were people who were 80 who looked and moved like they were 60. And I thought to myself, what do these second group of folks know that the first group doesn't know? And so much of it, Gayle, is positivity. I'm convinced it's mindset. It's not that they don't have problems. It's somehow they've got the spark. And that spark is what separates them. And some people say, oh my gosh, it's terrible getting old. My best days are behind me. Others feel like my life is just beginning. But don't for a second assume that these folks don't have issues. They have serious issues, but they don't let that slow them down.
I think
that's what I call a super ager.
I think that's so beautiful, and I know that you are happily married 55 years. Your wife is your fitness partner, and I have to say I get choked up when I think about this because I loved my parents with all my heart and soul. They were married 55 plus years, and they were super agers, and they brought so much life and vibrancy, and they had each other to do things in life with, and that too seems to be a big part of this.
Couples that exercise together stay together. And it's true. We have more fun. We work out together 3 or 4 times a week.
I want to grow up to be Jim one day. And stick around because coming up on Bloom, I catch up with Billy Deck, a 2-time Emmy Award-winning TV personality and entrepreneur who opened up Sunda in Tampa Bay, serving up amazing Asian-inspired foods. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. The food scene in Tampa Bay is on fire. And here on Bloom, we like to keep you up to speed on the hottest menu trends. That's why we were so excited when Emmy Award-winning TV personality, actor, and serial entrepreneur Billy Deck joined us with just a taste of what you'll find at his new Midtown restaurant, Sunda.
If you see New Asian under the name Sunda, it's really about elevating all components of Southeast Asian food. The quality of ingredients, the presentation, the diversity, the service standards, all of these things we're taking and we're just looking at classic dishes that we grew up with and we're trying to make them amped up and elevated to the highest level. Sometimes it's about mixing cultures together. Sometimes it's about just making them a little bit healthier, like what we're doing today. There's all sorts of things that we are just really enjoying the process of making it better. And that's really what New Asian's all about.
All right, we're going to be putting a little something together for you guys today. Yep. So I get to add in some ingredients?
Yes, you have a very key role. This one, so we have stuff from Japan, China, Korea, Thailand, Vietnam. This dish is called chicken inasal from the islands of the Philippines, where our families are from. So yes, we're going to just throw this in. Go right ahead.
Okay.
You've got some
Does it matter the order?
Nope. Black pepper. You now have some lemongrass. Again, there's some. You're doing some fish sauce. Some apple cider vinegar. I'll help you too.
Oh, this apple cider vinegar.
You got it.
Is this the ginger?
A lot of, yes, ginger and garlic and lemongrass and fresh squeezed lemon juice. There's a lot of healthy items really integrated into this marinade, which I think makes it really wonderful, especially combined with a really sort of great lean protein like chicken. You can do this at home, which is really great. It's such a wonderful thing to be able to share with everyone. Obviously, come to Sundub. It's amazing. But
yeah, I'd rather have you guys do it for me. Right.
But if you throw this on the grill at home, I mean, you're really gonna just blow people's minds because it's just so bright with savory elements. The lemon juice, citrus really gives a nice component, as does, and I think the lemongrass is really unique for a lot of folks.
It smells so good.
Also, the fish sauce, this little note, gives it this umami flavor.
And people are cooking, a lot of celebrity chefs, a lot of great, wonderful chefs are cooking with more and more fish sauce because it really just gives this sort of depth to the whole meal. And it's really awesome. And we'll leave that for like 24 hours. So let's talk for 24 hours and just
all right, let's do it.
No. Magic of TV. Magic of TV. So,
Magic of TV. We have our chicken right here. So we petted it down, a little salt and pepper, and just grilled it. So you get nice grill marks, nice char on the skin. And we're gonna just glaze it with our chote glaze. Chote is gives it a nice smoky flavor. It's used in a lot of Latin American cuisine and also the Philippines.
Yep.
Because Philippines is so diverse and all the people that conquered it, right, or lived there, that it left us all these little things that we made it a part of our culture and our taste buds, actually.
I also think it's a really great color, too. It's a super bright, robust color that I think people use in a lot of dishes as well.
Yep. So we just glaze it, and then our finished product is right here.
Yeah.
We top it with a little bit of tomato onion salad.
Nice.
And some
local micros.
And as you can see, Billy also brings a certain cool factor to Tampa Bay, so we love having him in studio. Another fun part of Bloom is we bring in culinary experts to share secrets on how you can feed your family healthy and delicious foods. And you can count on top caterer and Chef Deb Murray to help you do just that, sharing a romantic lobster dinner.
You must remove the meat from the shell.
Okay.
If you don't, it'll stick after you cook it, and you can pop it right back in here now and boil it. But if you don't do that little trick, you'll have gut them and they'll stick like crazy. So you want to pull that up.
That's a great pro tip.
The next thing you want to do is you want to devein them. Just like shrimp, a lobster has a vein down the back. You take that right out. Now what I'm going to do is something that you probably have never heard of, but as a chef, a lot of people think you would want to cover this with butter. I want to dip it in butter, but melted butter tends to slide off.
Okay.
Oil tends to slide off. Mayonnaise, on the other hand, is made of eggs, oil, lemon, and seasoning. And it clings to things. Like I know when I used to make my paninis or my grilled cheese sandwiches, I always used mayonnaise instead of butter. It would be more golden, and it would keep the consistency soft. It wouldn't dry out and get hard. So what you're going to do is put a thin little coat of mayonnaise on your lobster tail. And now I'm going to put a little salt and pepper. You could put garlic seasoning if you want. You're going to put it on your tray. And what we want to do is when we place it in the oven, you want it to be 6 inches from the broiler.
Okay.
And then it's 7 minutes. That's it. But
and you're going to broil it?
You're going to broil it, but we could do it in the air fryer the same way.
Okay.
Like if you have an air fryer at home, heat it to 400 for about 5 minutes just to get it nice and hot in there. Pop that lobster in there, and 7 minutes later, you are having the best lobster of your life.
I know you and I are going to be doing an air fryer story. I just want you to know I'm the only person on the planet who doesn't have an air fryer.
Oh my goodness. I can't. I will be the prophet that will convince you. Because you know what it is? It's the flavor.
Okay.
I know most people don't want things on their counter, but when you taste some of the things we're going to do together, you're going to scream.
All right. That's to be continued.
Very good.
All right.
I'm going to pop this one in so again, everyone can see the results. I don't know that it'll be done in time of our segment, but I would love for you
to give it a try. Well, wait a minute. I got a special surprise. I just roped my poor husband into a marriage hack and trivia game thing, and let's bring him in now for some you earned it, honey.
Yay.
Yay.
Chef Deb, you know my husband, Mark.
Well, I met him in the green room. It's so funny. My daughter, when she was delivering, went out to your house one time. She just raved about how absolutely lovely he was. She goes, he has such a good personality, Mom.
It's true.
He talks so much. He's so interesting. And I was excited to meet him. Not just because he's your love, but my daughter just thought he was amazing.
He is. She's right. She pegged him right. All right, so you want to take a little sample?
Sure.
All right. And you can use that, There you go.
You gonna try one? I'll cut one.
I'll just hold it for you. Let's see.
So in your beautiful home, why would you want to go to a restaurant?
You wouldn't.
Nothing could rival your beautiful home.
And wasn't, can I quote the famous chef?
Yes.
Wolfgang Puck said, cook at home, it's closer to your bedroom. Of course, I have to drag my husband Mark into Bloom's segments, and that was just one of the many pro tips from Chef Deb. We love you, girl. Plus, another way we show you what's hot in Tampa Bay is by heading out and about to find fun activities for you and your family. I found a great way people in Tampa Bay are team building, all while conquering their fears. I went to Empower Tampa Bay to try zip lining. Meet the military veteran who is bringing all of this fun to Tampa Bay when Bloom returns. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. Today we're sharing highlights from 2023, and many times I will head out into the field to find interesting ways to help you level up by conquering your fears. One of my greatest fears is the fact that I am really scared of heights, but our friends at Empower Adventures Tampa Bay help gently push me out of my comfort zone. We are getting ready for some thrills and chills today on Bloom. I'm with Joe Doring, who is a proud Army veteran and the owner of Empower Adventures. And this truly is an empowering experience.
It really is. Getting out of your comfort zone, zip lining down the lines onto the platforms, it's a lot of fun.
So what made you come up with the idea to open one of these here in Tampa Bay?
I was in the Army for 8 years and loved the obstacle courses and adventure courses as part of our training while we were in the Army, and so bringing that to the public was something I wanted to do.
I came with my daughter and a good friend of ours, and it really helps you conquer any fears that you have. I remember posting it, people are like, "You're crazy, Gayle," but once you get up there and do it, it gives you kind of a feeling of strength.
It's Empower's purpose to help people get outside of their comfort zone, go as far as they can to that edge of their comfort zone, plus one more step. And we believe that's, you know, really part of the wellness and really part of the empowerment that adventure can bring. And that's our purpose here at Empower Adventures.
And I know a lot of people do team building here, be it with their company or whatever. They come as a group and then suddenly you're working with each other.
Absolutely. Getting outside of your comfort zone with your workmates or your teammates, whoever it might be, really gives you that extra sense of companionship and team bonding.
And then there's some extra things that you can do over and above zip lining where you can try to like walk almost like on a tightrope where you get more, you know, opportunities to be empowered.
Right. It's again incrementally, slowly but surely helping you to get further and further outside of your comfort zone. And so the obstacle course has cable wire traverses. We have a multi-vine traverse. We have a swinging log walk that you have to do. And so again, just switching it up, giving you extra adventures to be able to get outside of your comfort zone is what it's all about. We get you outfitted in your harness and your gear with your zipline trolley.
Try to come up with confidence. I'm so scared of heights.
And then our guides take you up onto the course.
So Gayle, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the outside of your handlebars like this.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and do that now, and I can hold.
Down?
Yeah, of course. I'll hold the back of your harness while you do it.
Oh boy. You're with somebody that's there to hold your hand every step of the way.
You're all set and ready to go.
And I just step off?
You just pick your feet up.
Okay, here we go.
Nicely done.
We have a guide on either end of the zip line. So there's a guide who hooks you on and sends you, and then there's a guide on the far end who helps you land and receives you back in. And so the guide takes care of all of the landing, helps you slow down and land safely. So again, truly, it's a guide team working together to help you zip line and overcome your fears.
All right, right up on the box there for me.
All right.
We have a 200-foot suspension bridge, which is amazing, and we have 4 different adventure obstacles for you to traverse. We have leaps of faith, we have a hop of hope, we have all kinds of different adventures for you to take part in.
I'm so happy.
We have 5 different zip lines ranging from 400 to 700 feet long. Empower guides are especially trained to help empower you, to help you go as far as you can, plus one more step outside of your comfort zone. And really, we have a saying here, it just takes 2 seconds of courage to empower yourself. And so that means sitting down in your harness, lifting up your feet, and zipping onto the course.
Take a big step off.
Okay, big step off?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
All right. When your feet touch the floor, go ahead and stand. Perfect. High five.
Yay! Woo!
Nailed it.
I'm still a little scared of heights, but that helped me come a long way. And speaking of getting out of my comfort zone, content creator Allison Jacobs, who is a body positivity promoter, spent a lot of time teaching me how to dance in 2023. See her progress when Bloom returns. Welcome back. We are looking back at 2023 here on Bloom, and one of the best parts of hosting this show is we truly become friends with many of our guests, and that includes content creator and body positivity advocate Allison Jacobs, who is a TikTok sensation who's been trying to up my cool factor so I can create fun TikToks with my kiddos.
Just have fun with it and get into it. Okay, want to do it again? Ready? Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Boom. Boom. You're hitting that, Gayle.
We love you, Allison. And Allison, by the way, is also taking Bloom viewers along on her journey of healing from lipedema, a widely misdiagnosed condition that leads to fat buildup on your legs and arms that doesn't respond to diet and exercise like ordinary fat. She'll be joining us in 2024 to update us on her recent surgery and to continue educating people about lipedema, which almost exclusively impacts women. All of our stories that air on Bloom are posted on bloomtampabay.com, Tampa's premier health and wellness website, powered by WFLA. And we also have a super talented digital reporter and producer who contributes stories every day to help you live life to the fullest. His name is Brody Waddell, and we decided to find out what healthy activities Brody is passionate about during his free time, and surprisingly, it's martial arts. Brody took me through a fun stretching exercise that he learned while training.
If you're really, really flexible, what you can do is then come back like this. And what I like to do is I'll just lay flat and look like a crime scene. You know, that chalk outline, just laying here like this. Can you do it, Gayle? I believe in you.
I'm there, Brody.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, and now we'll come back up. And we would do the other side, but we're just doing this for fun. Come in.
Okay.
Let's loosen these puppies up. There you go. I'm so proud of you.
I'm clearly not as limp as you.
No, you're not.
No.
Okay, this is going to be the one that's the most fun. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
We call this the leg overhead. There's no way you're going to be able to do this.
I'm not going to be able to do it.
You can try it. You ready?
Try it.
There you go. See, and the reason we do this is because in BJJ,
yeah,
and it's going to sound really bad, but we end up in this position pretty often.
That was fun and embarrassing all at the same time. Stick around, everybody. We're going to have more Bloom right after this. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by United Fibroid and Vascular Centers.
Welcome back to Bloom. While uterine fibroids are non-cancerous, their symptoms and side effects can be painful. Many women aren't willing to have a hysterectomy, But the good news is there are other options. Joining us now to tell us more is the founder and CEO of United Fibroid and Vascular Centers, Dr. Jamal Wasni, and patient Jennifer Wheeler, to share her story. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So Dr. Wasni, talk to us a little bit about uterine fibroids and how common are the symptoms?
Very common. Up to 50% of women have uterine fibroids. It's even more prevalent amongst African American women. It could be up to 80%. Uterine fibroids are, as you mentioned, non-cancerous growths in the uterus that press on surrounding organs, leading to problems with urination, constipation, bloating, feeling as if you've gained weight with a distended stomach. In addition to that, they can cause pelvic pain, abdominal pain, back pain, and the worst symptoms are the heavy menstrual bleeding with cramping that these fibroids cause.
Jennifer, tell me about your journey. I mean, I know you were really suffering and then you found relief thanks to this procedure.
Yeah, I was having a lot of heavy bleeding, as you said, a lot of cramping, pain, and the difficulty urinating was actually what caused me to seek out help.
And a lot of women, you know, they go to their OBGYN. That's my primary caregiver, really. And if you're having major issues like you were having, they were told you have to get a hysterectomy. Is that what you were told as well?
Yes, that was like the first option. You need a total hysterectomy.
Which, doctor, that is a huge surgery. Talk to me about the difference between a hysterectomy and your procedure.
Hysterectomy is a surgery. You go to the hospital, they remove your uterus. There's about 2 months of downtime. These are usually done by OBGYNs. That's what they're trained to do. The procedures that we perform are vascular procedures. You walk in, you get the procedure done, you go home the same day, you keep your uterus. It's a medical procedure that's performed by vascular specialists. So again, it's another way of treating the problems with fibroids.
And not only, you know, when you have to go through a hysterectomy, there's a lot of downtime. It's a major surgery, and there can be problems afterwards related to having to like give up either part of it, all of your uterus.
Correct. With this procedure, you get to keep your uterus. Again, it's a small procedure done through a nick in the skin that causes the fibroids to shrink and go away. And as they go away, so do your symptoms. It's covered by your health insurance and performed by a board-certified medical doctor.
So how are you feeling, Jennifer? Talk to me about, you know, after the surgery, the before and after.
Oh, I feel great.
My procedure.
My quality of life, I would say, is definitely increased. The fatigue has subsided. The heavy bleeding, the prolonged menstrual periods have shortened a lot. So it's been great.
Yeah, and I should need to correct myself. This is not a surgery. It is a procedure done in office, and you walk out that very day.
Yes.
And that's a huge difference, and it's the quality of life for patients. You're hearing it right here from Jennifer is so much better.
It's modern medicine is what it is, and it's doctors practicing modern medicine and bringing it to the community.
All right, well, I want to thank you both so much for joining us, and I really appreciate you sharing your story, because I do think a lot of women out there are suffering because they think they have to go through something extreme like a hysterectomy. So I appreciate the both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, for more information and to schedule your fibroid consultation at one of their locations, visit unitedfibroid.com or call 813-437-4580. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by United Fibroid and Vascular Centers. Following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Bull Oak.
Welcome back to Bloom. Many couples want more connection in their relationship, but men shouldn't have to struggle with something like ED unnecessarily when there is help available. Joining now to tell us more is Mark Kramer from Bull Oak. Hey, Mark, it's great to see you.
Great to see you as well. Thank you.
So, Mark, I want to talk about pills, which is what most men rely on. It's really a common way to deal with erectile dysfunction, but it really doesn't respond for a lot of men.
Yeah, the data shows about 30% of guys do not have a response with the pills, and that's a pretty significant number. But even those guys who do respond to the pills, they can be dealing with side effects. Keep in mind, when a guy takes a pill, he's ingesting those chemicals into his body, and those chemicals can impact other blood vessels throughout the body, and therefore guys can get things like headache, flushing, even heartburn, and those things can get in the way of the desired outcome. Now at Bull Oak, we have a treatment called acoustic wave therapy. We are treating the root cause of ED, unlike the pills, which only treat the symptoms.
And Mark, why is it better to have your treatments at Bull Oak, and what gains do your patients have?
So some great things about the acoustic wave therapy. Again, we're treating the root cause. In most guys, it's a lack of blood flow. So if we can get that blood flowing naturally by treating the blood vessels and helping to repair and open up those blood vessels, that spontaneity can return to a guy's relationship as well. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen. We have a small handheld device which is placed on top of the skin. That device will deliver gentle pressure waves to the blood vessels below, helps to repair and open up those blood vessels. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see what happens. Now the blood is flowing. There's also a process called neovascularization in which new blood vessels can grow. So again, the bottom line is more blood flow where and when a guy needs it the most.
Mark, do you have any success stories from people that have gone through your treatments?
Yeah, we hear guys tell us how this has improved their confidence because they're performing like they used to perform. And from couples as well, because keep in mind, even though ED impacts the guy physically, it can negatively impact the relationship if a guy is avoiding those intimate situations. So we had one couple tell us how acoustic wave therapy has given their relationship hope again.
And Mark, this is an embarrassing issue for a lot of guys. What do you do for the guys that come in to make them feel at ease and more comfortable?
Yeah, guys have to understand that this is a physical problem. It is a medical problem. There is that embarrassment factor out there, and that is the #1 reason guys don't want to talk about this with their significant other, let alone their doctor or healthcare provider. But the bottom line, guys, is it's a physical issue. If you do nothing about it, it will not get better on its own. And the great thing is with the acoustic wave therapy, we can help to repair and open up those blood vessels.
Mark, do you have any special offers for those who might be a little bit nervous to come into the clinic?
We do. And guys, keep in mind, again, you cannot hope this away. It will not go away on its own. So give Bull Oak a call. We will set you up with the initial exam, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound at no cost. In addition to that, the first treatment will be absolutely free, but you need to call Bull Oak today to take advantage of this offer.
All right, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. It was great seeing you.
Thank you for having me.
You can get your life back by calling Bull Oak today at 813-219-1919 to get your first treatment free. Again, the number is 813-219-1919. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Bull Oak.
Welcome back to Bloom. We're sharing 2023 highlights with you today, and we've become close to the co-founder and CEO of Southbound Tequila, who also founded Nashville's Ivy Cake. And it just so happens Ivy Childers' super close friend is country music sensation Carrie Underwood. The two teamed up to share innovative holiday planning ideas and craft enticing cocktails. Here's a little taste from Ivy herself.
I remember exactly when I knew I was ready to pivot from Ivy Cake to I didn't know really what next. Southbound really came so beautifully and it connected so well with what I was doing with Ivy Cake. But there was a time in my career with Ivy Cake when I knew that I was ready to pass the reins. I was ready to pass the torch and close that chapter. And I listened to that gut instinct, and I didn't tell anybody. I knew that that decision was right for me, and then when I did it, I knew it was right, and then the doors opened for Southbound. And I think that you just have to go, first of all, believing in yourself, ideating for yourself, like listen to the concepts that resonate with you. That's guidance, and that's wisdom into maybe what your future holds. And so I really am proud that I listened to myself, and then the pathways opened up so beautifully to launch Southbound Tequila.
And I've talked to you before about this, you know, you're juggling a lot, like you were doing, you said you had a lot of different jobs to build your dream.
Yep.
So how did you find the energy to keep the lights on and follow your passion.
I do think that is an area where a lot of people do struggle. I remember growing up, I was a big dreamer. I knew I wanted something really special for my life, and I didn't know what that was going to be, but I remember dreaming about all different kinds of occupations. I even wanted to be an entertainer. I wanted to be a teacher. I remember like clipping grocery coupons. I couldn't wait to have like my own home and like buy my own groceries. And like today I look at that and I'm like, oh, grocery shopping is really still such a creative wonderland for me. And you know, I love teaching in every facet of what I do. As a CEO, you have to have people that support your business and, you know, entertaining. Look at all those things, and I'm touching on all those areas. When I became an adult, I became not just a dreamer, but a doer. And I knew innately, if I'm going to make anything happen for myself, you can't just dream and be creative. You have to do something about it. So I think it's just me not wanting to ever give up on myself and my dream. And so I think that that's probably the foundation of who I am, to just have the guts to go out there and do it. And so that was working jobs I did not want to do. And I feel like that's a word of inspiration for people, because you do have to kind of take the time to figure out, you know, and you have to build steps on into your future. You can't, it just doesn't land in your lap. Maybe for a very small percentage it does, but for me it didn't. And so just fighting for yourself and working those jobs.
Ivy, by the way, joined us on our new streaming platform, Bloom Health Club, which you can find on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts. And coming up, why Time Magazine picked Tampa as one of the world's greatest places of 2023. Bloom will be right back. Welcome back to Bloom. Time Magazine picked Tampa as one of the world's greatest places of 2023. As we look back at this incredible year, meet a local restaurateur who's one of the reasons we got these incredible accolades.
So I always knew that Tampa was going to grow up and kind of shake off its small town skin and become this beautiful metropolis. It was just a matter of timing. And, you know, you see with Jeff Vinnick, a man of huge vision that comes in and does such wonderful things with our Tampa Bay Lightning, and then puts out this amazing vision of, we want to create a real city center downtown. And he started doing it. And, you know, the funny thing is a lot of those buildings happened during COVID. So everybody was shuttered at home. And then all of a sudden they open their eyes in mid-22 and there's these beautiful high rises. It looks like Chicago or New York. And we're just honored to be kind of at the front door of that Water Street development with Boulan Brasserie. So
what's so cool about this too is that you are homegrown. You're from the Tampa Bay area. I am too, third generation. And for me, my biggest dream working in television news is that this city would become something that my children would one day want to come home to.
Correct.
That they would go off to do their college careers and live their lives, but one day come home. And when you think about it, that's what we've become.
It is. It absolutely has been. It's been a lot of, before, in the decades before where we are currently, a lot of people were coming here, going to school, and then going off to have their careers. Now we have tremendous financial strength in the financial industry here. The tech industry has exploded with Embark Collective and, you know, the Tampa Bay Wave. A lot of things drawing people in, not to mention no income tax and beautiful sun and great airport and not too much traffic right now, although it's getting worse. But you know,
it's getting kind of California.
It is.
You know, anybody knows that the restaurant industry is a tough industry to be in.
It is.
Yet you're growing by leaps and bounds.
We are.
Talk to me a little bit about your vision, and because it's one thing to have a dream, it's another thing to see it to fruition. And it's almost like you throw things out. I should have aired the clip. I mean, I should have aired the clip. If you could have seen the passion and the vigor in your eyes, like it's like you put it out into the universe and it happened. So.
I believe that. I'm faith-filled. I'm also very spiritual, and I believe that what you want in this life, you've got to claim it, put it out into the universe. And I've been believing this forever. And, you know, you reporting on all the amazing things that have happened here over the years and telling the stories, because that's what business is. You know, restaurants get to tell great stories of making memories every night, but I really believed that we were going to be this metropolis that has happened here, and I've worked very hard to create, you know, elevations in culinary throughout the Tampa Bay area. That's our mission at Next Level Brands, is to elevate the culinary landscape of Tampa Bay, and that's what we're doing, one concept at a time.
Time magazine also pointed out a really fun Tampa fact that our new Water Street district was named the world's first well-certified city district, thanks to its focus on sustainability and livability, and rentable electric scooters make it easy to zip around downtown. Another exciting part of 2023 is Bloom launched a streaming series, the Bloom Health Club, so you can watch and listen to our top guests anytime you want. Check it out.
If you see someone who doesn't have any control of their life to the point where they can't even answer their own questions themselves, there's a problem there.
You have better cholesterol underwater, it appears, right? You have, we talked about this a little bit, but so you have lower cortisol. So if you have a decrease in cortisol, you have an increase in testosterone, which is great, right?
Yeah, so it even improves your sex life, is what you're saying. Yeah. That's a yes, in case you're wondering.
As a kid, I was labeled a kid that would be dead or in jail by the time I was 16. And, you know, I believed that for a greater part of my young adult life. I'm a product of a rape. My mother was raped at 11, had me at the age of 12. You know, I've been homeless. I've gone from family member to family members' couches. I've slept in cars. I've done it all.
Starting at the age of 40, I was 275 pounds. And then I thought, okay, because I'm 6 foot, I just want to get down to 200. And so when I approached 200, I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm good now. And so I really had no end goal. I just wanted to feel better, look better. And what I was noticing is that with every little bit that I lost, my confidence was soaring. I was becoming a more patient mom. I was becoming a better wife because I was being more vulnerable in my journey. So over the period of 8 years, I've lost 136 pounds.
Most people prefer known hell rather than unknown heaven.
So true. It is so true.
We prefer known hell because at least, in other words, we stay in bad relationships longer than we should because at least I know this person. But even though that person treats me bad, at least I know it. I have some level of assurance and confidence around that which I know. And because the unknown tends to be fearful for most people, I'd rather stick with the demon I know than the angel that I don't know.
This made me suffer for almost 2 years. I was begging 6 surgeons to get it out of me. And everybody said there's no real rush. You've got stage 2 contracture, where the bag actually starts to contract inside the body.
In '87, I was #1 in the world. And I got hit by a woman that was a drug, and she ran a red light and hit me and broke all my ribs on my left side, and I had head injuries. And they didn't know how I was going to come back. And I came back and won the last 2 tournaments of the year and finished in the top 4 in the world, even with that.
A Greek philosopher said that paranoia never killed anybody, but carelessness has sent many people to die. So when in the field, it's a constant state of paranoia. It's wrong to say fear, but fear is part of it. My biggest fear is having to answer to a family that I let down, which so far we haven't had.
Had some great guests. Well, we hope you will tune in again on the next Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. It's our food and culture edition of Bloom. Find out how people of all backgrounds who call Tampa Bay home celebrate during the holidays. Stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom.
Content segments during Bloom were paid for by United Fibroid and Vascular Centers and Bull Oak.
Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.